100 ping. Thanks, Riot. Oh, I have to reconnect again. Sometimes Riot James, they just don't want to see me succeed. Low ping, low ping. Nice, we're back. A new fun mini game from Riot Games to make sure I'm not on lane in time. Schrodinger's Viktor. I'm here now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today playing a game of Viktor. Hopefully you guys are seeing this before the Viktor rework comes out. Even if it does though, it's going to play much the same, so I'm sure you'll still learn a lot from this video. So I will talk about kind of how you're meant to play Viktor. I will just quickly show my runes. So one of the most important things of playing Viktor from the hit anime Arcane is to make sure you pressure a lot in the laning phase, especially with your Qs. Now if you can go for an auto attack and not take a lot of damage for it, you should, but it's normally pretty difficult. So instead you're kind of just going to be wanting to look for trades when they come up for CS. Now there I managed to get quite a bit of damage on her because she was going for the CS. Unfortunately she was able to chase me down with the E after. But yeah, our first thing is just to try and get level 2 first. Once you hit level 2, that's when your trades start to become kind of hard to respond to, so you can just like E from range and it's quite difficult for them to do anything about it. Really important thing for Viktor is not to use too much mana on your level 2 laser because it isn't that mana efficient, so you mainly just want to keep pushing. You can E when you have Comet up or Area up if you want, but for the most part you're just playing to get level 3, and then once you get level 3 that's when you're gonna, oh my god, that's when you're gonna really start using it. Viktor E is also almost unmissable, so it's really bad if you miss a random E like that. I'm just going to keep pushing to make sure that I hit level 3 first, and then the moment I hit level 3 we're going to again walk forward and try for some sort of trade. Dude, how am I missing? This guy's just to go. You're really not meant to miss Viktor lasers. Typically, most champs you need to wait for the enemy to come to a CS before you cast it. Again, because it's very dodgeable. But the thing with Viktor is that it's really just not. You should just be able to trade basically for free. I did hit that one, thankfully, but I've taken a lot more damage here than I should have, so that's not good. We gotta kind of push this under the turret quickly, or we're probably going to die to a Shaco gank, because Shaco is very, very good at ganking early. Let's go for another E through there. It's possible that Shaco is here, so we're just going to really quickly try and get this under the turret, and then we're going to go and drop some vision. So I've definitely missed way too many lasers. Like if I'd hit, you know, I don't know how we missed, like 2 or 3. If we hit those, like he should probably be dead by now, but it's still fine. Yeah, it's still fine. So at the moment, we have to be careful because Lux has good gank setup. Okay, we see Shaco. Until we saw Shaco there, it was pretty risky, but this is fine. And this is, yeah, like I said, when you get to this point, your trades are very hard to respond to because, yeah, you do so much damage and it's from so far away, and it's very difficult for them to actually do anything about it. Okay, that guy ended up crossing. We're just going to keep trying to harass Lux out of the lane. She's very, very low now. And the thing is, like, oh my god, I don't know about this one, Chief. Ah. That was yeah, that was very grief, but oh, that sucks. She has her shield up as well, so I can't flash order her. Probably have to W this guy to run away, but yeah, that is quite annoying. Better hit this just in case he chases. Actually, I guess that doesn't really do it, but we should be able to live. Okay, so pretty annoying for us. I mean, Lux gets a pretty sizable item advantage here, which she definitely should not have. Maybe someone could come. Yeah, Shaco is still here. Okay, so far the early game has been a pretty big disaster. That's because, like, generally as Viktor, like, you should be basing with a first base advantage, and you can kind of leverage that to continue building up your lead. It's bad here obviously because Lux, it's actually going to be the other way around. Like, Lux is going to be ahead gold when, you know, we're the ones that should be ahead, so that is going to make life really, really difficult. And we're just going to shove this and then finally go for a reset. So hopefully this guy doesn't die again. I think he will. Let's hope this doesn't go to Lux. Oh, ouch. Okay, so yeah, game is going to be very, very difficult for us, but we'll do our best. So we're going to buy these probably. I think movement speed against Lux is quite important. Personally, I like tier because it helps a lot with the side lane, and also it's kind of helpful to living against Shaco as well. So we can get some poke on her as she goes away, but it's definitely going to be hard, right? Like if you look at her items compared to ours, it's pretty rough. Just going to ping that Lux can go into bot side here. So what are we thinking at this point? Normally, if you get to this point, you need to be very careful with how you take trades, because if you're at a significant item advantage or disadvantage like this, it's going to be really hard to actually win the trades. Now, the thing with Viktor is that, again, like, he's very long range, so typically you can still poke your opponent from range, and you are still, like, a strong laner, right? So like ultimately, even though she's ahead, we can probably still win some trades as long as we don't get hit by too many skill shots. Now, if you do manage to get a W on your opponent at 6, you can sometimes immediately ult them. The reason I didn't there is because I didn't get the stun. If they're low on health, you can ult them even without the stun, just because, like, you know, chances are they're almost gonna die. Or, you know, they're going to be so chunked that they can't really do anything about it. Now, I think this is a kill. I'm just going to walk up, hit the W. Okay, she's definitely dead. So this is really good gank by the Nunu. Pushes her into me. Thankfully, I got it. I was going to be really upset if he took it. So that's pretty good. We're definitely in a pretty nice spot, especially because that's going to allow us to get out chapters. So despite the early game not going so good, which was a combination of me missing a lot of E's, which you definitely shouldn't, and the kind of Nunu disaster, yeah, I think now we're actually in a pretty good position because we should be stronger than her and we should be able to once again kind of leverage the trade. So we'll shove that in, and we will recall. If you guys are curious about the elo of this game, by the way, it is, I think, Emerald something. My account's only Platinum, but I saw a lot of Emerald borders. Base and buy this, and we'll probably buy a pink as well. So this is quite good. We get the sustain to deal with the Lux poke. We have our chapter now, so we're not going to run home, and also the pink board can be quite useful for dealing with Shaker. Now, there is something that we can kind of point out here and have a look at. We can kind of start thinking about what second item we want to go for. Typically, your default here would be to go Lichbane, probably. The reason for that being that since we have multiple APs, we don't really want a flat pen item. That being said, the kind of thing that made me talk about this is that they actually have 4 AP champs. So Shaker definitely should have itemized AD, but instead, because he's going AP, it means that magic resist is very valuable. So there's a couple ways we could get this. Most likely the best way is just to go Banshee. Banshee second. It will obviously lower our damage, which is something you need to be careful of, right? Because like ultimately, if you don't need the defensive, then you probably shouldn't buy it. But the way I like to think about the defensive items is that a lot of the time it just lowers their damage more. So yeah, even if it's like a DPS loss for you, it's more so for them. You can see here, this is kind of just a stat check. At this point, I just deal more damage than her. Oh, maybe this is a kill with Jinx. Okay, so here, I could laser this wave, but I actually want to save E for her. So I was trying to set up some vision so that I didn't die. And you can see here that if I E this wave on a turret, the problem is that she's just going to collect it while my E is on cooldown. So what I'm actually doing is I'm trying to keep it in a position where it's kind of difficult for her. If you're Lux in this situation, you should probably just ult the wave and just try to reset. Like, rather than just bleeding out CS under your turret, just ult the wave. That's like one of the OP things about Lux, is that she can just, you know, clear waves basically every other wave. Now, I might be able to ult this guy. I think I should. I kind of fucked up by missing that, but it should be fine. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay, so he gets chunked out quite a lot. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to tank this. Okay, but they're both quite low. Nunu's coming through lane again. Okay, I got the poke off. Oh, she actually just died. Okay, not bad. So yeah, we're in a really, really good spot. We've managed to turn around what was a pretty rough early game. But now we're feeling pretty good. So we're just going to finish shoving this all the way in. Pretty good, I think, that Nunu hovers us here, because if we didn't, there was a... Actually, Shaker was pretty low. Maybe we could have got away with it. Oh, Shaker here? Was that the little... Dude, I just saw some random smoke effect. What was that? I don't know what that was. Now, this is kind of annoying. I think if I hadn't seen that little smoke effect, I probably would have been brave enough to go for this plate. And if I got this plate, I would have got my Seraphs here, which would be a really big spike. Because buying Codex is a pretty trash item. I maybe should have greeted for it anyway. I'd be really curious if I look back in the replay, or like what you guys think. Was there not like some little smoke effect that looked like Shaker Q? I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it. Okay, but anyway, we're in a pretty good spot. So... we're quite strong. We're going to come on the map here. Now, the one thing I need to think about is that, like, if I build this Banshee, which is good, again, because I have multiple APs, the problem is, like, if it ends up Ashe is the one that's fed, then it might not be as valuable as it is normally. That guy's 4-0. And if we build Banshee, it's good against everyone else, but... Actually, I mean, I guess it's still good against Ashe ult. Yeah, maybe it's okay. We could also build Merc Treads. Merc Treads for the Tenacity are kind of good this game against the Lux and also the Ashe ult. The only reason we might not is because generally Mercs are only worth buying for the Tenacity, not so much for the MR. So we're going to try and take this plate from her here, and that will give us a bit more gold. And then we'll just keep continuing trying to poke under turret. If she walks up again, we're going to try W, and this time, even if the W doesn't hit, we're just going to ult her, just for the chunk. We just want the slow, basically. So here, again, I could push the wave, but instead I'm just going to play really aggressively. Probably she doesn't ult me here. I think she should have. Yeah, so you can see that, like, as long as you can still get the CS, it's fine. As a champ like Viktor, like, Prio is not that important for you. I think she's dead. Okay, so I misplayed a little bit. It's also unfortunate that I didn't have my Seraph there. I could have lived if I played a little bit better. But yeah, basically, like, pushing is not as valuable as it is for other champs because you can't use the prio as well as other champs. Like, Viktor's not very good at early skirmishing. So it was double flashes, which is not the end of the world, but I do lose a pretty sizable wave. I have TP, but I'm going to miss most of it. Yeah, that was mainly just my late flash, cost me the death. I could TP behind here, maybe if Viktor or if Nunu wants to come. Yeah, I think we could look at this. Just going to TP. They might just binding me straight away. Okay, nice. Okay, we'll slow the Lux. That should be a kill. Okay, Ambassador takes it. I'm just going to shove mid in this situation. The reason I want to shove mid is because, well, now that we know Lux is dead and we have a cannon wave, we can potentially take quite a lot of gold on the turret. So always be looking out for cannon waves as opportunities to take plates. If your opponent's not there, obviously. Hey, managing that Lulu shutdown. And yeah, I think we should be able to get 2 plates worth of gold here. I believe this guy has TP, so that might make this... Yeah, he's going to probably be out of TP, but that's fine. We still managed to deny the cannon. Okay, he TP'd quite safely, but we shoved in the whole wave, done a lot of damage to the turret, which is pretty good. Yeah, we're definitely happy with that. Now, I could walk to this. I do have prio over mid, so we can definitely walk to this fight. Like I said, Viktor is not very good at early skirmishes. You do need to be kind of careful, especially if fighting if you don't have ult. But here, it's like I have move over mid, so I should be fine. Probably just kill Lux. Okay, I have ult in 3 seconds. Should be able to get some kills here. Maybe not. Okay, we get 1. Alright, nice, we get 2. I was a bit worried there that Lulu was going to save them all. But yeah, even though you're not super good in the early skirmishes, like I have got some scaling here, right? Like I've managed to get my first item. I have like 2 upgrades. So yeah, it's not like impossible to fight anymore. But it's really important that you wouldn't take that fight at like level 6, for example, because you'd definitely be a lot weaker. So we're going to reset, and I really do need to think about my itemization, because again, there's this 6-0 Ashe, which is making it kind of difficult to itemize. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a rod, and this can become a Banshee. This can also become a Lichbane. I don't know, it feels bad to not go Banshee against the 4 AP, but at the same time, like with a 6-0 Ashe, like, it definitely loses value. I don't know, maybe I go Lichbane Mercs. That might be the safe play. Yeah, I think it might be better to go Lichbane Mercs. The thing is, I really try and avoid going Mercs because they're, as an item, like, not that strong anymore. They got nerfed pretty heavily. But, like, to be honest, it seems pretty good this game. So maybe we'll just go for it. Anyway, what are we going to do now? So we got to be quite careful. Like, we have no flash and we have no ult, so we don't really want to look for fights right now. Try avoid them if we can. We can just focus on farming, wait for our flash, wait for our ult, and then we can look to fight again. Yeah, so have some people mid, and we need to wait for our Seraphs to complete. So we'll just kind of chill until then. Nice little poke on the Lulu. What's going on? We're definitely down 4 fights, especially in just like a few seconds, but not quite yet, you know? Like, we do want to fight in a moment, like, especially when our Flash and our Seraphs come up, but we should probably be just, yeah, a little careful just for a tiny bit. Okay, she didn't manage to ult. If we could ever get this Ashe shut down, the game will feel amazing, so that's probably our focus, is if we can get a random pick on her. Might be able to walk up and cheese this guy. Okay, we'll just stay here for now. Yeah, I am very close. Like, maybe I shouldn't be looking for fights. I am very, very close to being strong, again, with the Flash and the Seraph upgrade, but until then, maybe we just chill a little bit. Very, very soon. Okay, I got my other upgrade now, which is great. I'll just ward over the wall again. Should be able to kill Lulu, I think, if she misplays. For now, we're just kind of waiting, I guess, like, for everything to come up. It's really important that as a champ like Viktor that you're very aware of, like, what fights you want and what fights you don't. Because, yeah, you have, like, these very defined moments of power early game, just, like, on your ulti and stuff. Obviously, later on, you're kind of just strong all the time, but early, you gotta be quite careful. Okay, so this should be a kill on Shaker. I'm not sure which one's which. I think that's the fake one, right? Yeah. He's very, very low. Okay, we managed to avoid that as well. I did waste ult, or not waste, but like I have used ult, I suppose. I think we can kill the Lulu here. Wow, she actually flashed out. Okay, nice bubble though. So this should be quite winning. And yeah, even though I don't have flash here, like I am strong, I have all my evolves. And I am, you know, relatively strong anyway. So, oh, who's that? That's Mord, I guess? Yeah. Okay, good damage onto the Ashe. Very, very low. Oh my god. That was scary. Maybe I can kill her? Nice. Okay, so we got the huge shutdown on Ashe, which is really good. So what we do now, and this is a mistake I see a lot of players make, is Texas Cannon. No, I'm just kidding. Is go top. So the reason you want to go top here is because after a team fight, you always want to spread out as quickly as you possibly can to take as much gold off the map while the enemy team is dead. Because here we have the luxury that like no one is alive, so we can push and like be really greedy. So even though I have 2,500 gold, which normally means that like you should just instantly base, right? Instead, we're going to use that opportunity to come and push top all the way in. We could maybe go for this turret. The only reason I won't is because Dragon is spawning. But if Dragon weren't spawning, I would actually take this before resetting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to buy... I think I'll just buy the full Lich Bane, and I'm going to sell this for magic resist, and I will make these into mercs. So basically, this just gives us the strongest possible spike at this Dragon, which is kind of important, I think, because we do want the Dragon win condition. So I would say this game's pretty over. Like, they have a heavy AP team, and this guy has a million magic resist, so it's going to be really difficult for the enemy team to team fight. The only thing really to be careful of here now is just like, I don't know, Dino, random Ashe ult or something, but once we have mercs, it should be fine. So we probably want to be bot. Oh my god, what's going on up here? We do want to be bot, ideally. Like, we would like to be in the side lane with TP, but Jinx is already there, so for now we'll just stay mid and... Okay, not bad. Okay, so we're not ready to do Dragon because our jungler is not there. This is another thing I see a lot of you guys doing in low elo, is like, your job as a mid laner for contesting objectives is mainly just to get prior and to like hold the areas around it. It's not really your job to actually hit the Dragon. And in this case, like with their ADC dead, they can't contest. So don't waste your time hitting this Dragon. Instead, just like try and keep getting gold. Like most likely right now, the enemy team is doing Herald. So like you don't really want to be on Dragon anyway. You just want to be finding farms. So I'm just going to clear that and then go bot. I'll tag Dragon on the way there for my... Oh wait, actually I already have... I was gonna say for Legend Haste stacks, but we already have it. Mbessa, I think, is gonna die. Here, the Mbessa just needs to play safe, right? Like, given that our whole team is making a play bot side, and their team's not contesting, all she needs to do is just not die. And another, like, really common low elo mistake. So hopefully someone clears mid. I'm just gonna focus on clearing this bot turret. Do a lot of damage to this, which is nice. So we're really fed. So next we have another kind of option of what to buy. So typically I always say like don't upgrade Magi's pretty much ever because it's just like extremely risky. But like this game, there's not that much threat onto me, right? Like most of their threat is this AP. And I think especially once I get mercs, I actually should be completely alive. So like think of it like this. It's like they don't have a lot of threat. I have items, I guess, like against all their APs, which makes me tankier. Plus, I have Seraph Shield and Flash. So, like, when you buy Magi's, like, it's a really good item. You just need to be very sure that you're not going to die. And here, I don't think I would die. And I think I said in one of my other games I would have bought Magi's if, like, if I were playing as if I were a Smurf, you know what I mean? But here, I think even if you weren't a Smurf, I would say that this warrants a Magi buy. If you want to play it, like, ultra safe, you can, because it's, like, it is, like, quite risky. But, I'd say generally... it can be worth too. Okay, so we see this guy above us. Is this still fightable? Possibly. Actually looks quite low. Cool. Oh my god, it's warded. Yeah, my Nami's not watching. Oh no. Wait, that's OP. Oh my god, I just got like run around in circles by this guy and no one noticed. Okay, should be careful here. I don't want to lose my Magi stack. Should probably just death. Cool. That's the real one. Okay, nice. Yeah, needed to be a little careful fighting there just because, like, my team is, why you chase Shaker over objective? It's fine. Okay, we probably can chase this, although I don't have ult, so we do need to be kind of careful. Yeah, without ult, maybe we should chill a bit. Maybe we should chill a bit. Okay, well, this guy kind of wants to fight. Might have been better here to hit Ashe. I think Ashe might have been the more valuable target, to be honest. Normally in these sort of situations, like, you kind of want to number your targets 1 to 5. And to be honest, like, the 8-kill Jinx is much more valuable than the Lux. So that was definitely bad by me. I should have targeted the Ashe instead. Obviously, I killed her anyway, but there's a little bit of a misplay by me. So... we do want to recall and buy these mercs. That'll probably be our next thing. The thing is, there's going to be no fight here for a little bit. So there's no dragon up yet. So we can probably greed for a bigger base, right? Because like if we reset right now and we buy our mercs, we have nothing else to buy. We're going to have gold left over. Instead, what we probably want is to base on 1800. So we can spend 600 for mercs and then 1200 for rock. So you can be kind of greedy with this with your base timers if you have like high resources and if you know there's going to be no fight for a while. Which here we know there's no fight because dragon's not up. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to stay on the map for one more wave, and then we're going to reset. I'm being a little careful on the side lane here, even though I beat more, just because my jungler is top, and we don't know where their jungler is. So I kind of want to be a little careful. Okay, Shaco showed stop. So the moment you see people top, you can go and play as aggro as you like on the side lane. So we can try and push this wave all the way in. The further you push it, the better, because it pressures a lot harder. We could take these Krugs. And if I weren't going to base, I probably would. But I think it's important to get this base timing right now. So we're going to go home by this and this. Now I have TP, but there's nowhere to TP to. So it's quite difficult for me to actually help here. Is this Ashe like DC'd or something? Like, is she not watching? I'm not sure. Anyway, it looks like we do want to run to this. Our bot wave's not here yet, so we have time. You know, like we can run to this, and if it doesn't work out, we still have time to turn around and go bot. Instead though, like it looks like this does work out. Could we Baron? Who's dead? I think we can, yeah. So if we don't do Baron, oh, okay, that's annoying. If we're not doing Baron, I needed to run bot. Unfortunately, we... Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, we're very late on this, right? Like, I wanted to be on this before... Before Mord was on this. I think we still get it, but it's a little annoying, and I think that if we'd done this a bit sooner, it would have been more free. Hopefully the Shaker doesn't steal this. Okay, now he's mid, so that's cool. We get a secured objective. And we're really, really strong here, like level 15, massively spiked, have ulti, have flash, just have everything. So we're definitely down to look for fights at this point. Maybe look at these guys. Okay, I think I am going to ult this guy. Nice. Oh wow, that actually moved him like out of my ult. That was really annoying. I think he's going to die, pretty sure. Let's see. Ah, he's actually still alive, that's crazy. Okay, so again, we can spread out here. I think I can greed and go top. I have TP, so I can easily get to Dragon. Again, if you didn't have TP, you probably just group here. But whenever you have TP, you kind of want to be in side lane if you can. I do have TP to counter gank, and if not, I can push top. Just watch, because it kind of looks like this might end up being a fight. Okay, kind of backed off. Now, we need to be careful, because my team's going to go to Dragon. So most likely, if their team doesn't go Dragon, they'll try gank me, which is exactly what's happening. So instead, we're just going to back away, let our team take the Dragon, and all we need to do is not die. In fact, we could probably take advantage of this downtime where we can't actually pressure to just quickly reset. Because, like, if we stay here, all we're going to be doing is sitting in this bush anyway, because there's no way for us to pressure top side while our team is pressuring bot side. So that was kind of like a little min-max there just to get a free reset, which is kind of nice. Now, again, have to be quite careful. So my entire team is basing, which means I need to be very careful on the map. I'm going to walk up to this wave because I don't think they can be here. But, like, if you think they could be here, then you shouldn't touch this wave because you need to wait for your team. And if you ever end up in a fight here and end up dying, it's completely your fault, not your team's. Another thing that I see all the time in low reloads is people fighting at the wrong times, you know, like not tracking their teammates in the mid game. It's a very, very big problem because a lot of the time, especially in low reloads, people will reset at the wrong times. And you just kind of need to play around that, right? Like ultimately, it doesn't matter if your teammates should be there or not. It just matters if they are. So this should be a kill. He's dead as fuck. Okay, nice. We can probably just shove mid here. Yeah, I don't think I have time to go top just because it's too far away. So instead, we're just going to run it down mid. Should be completely fine. This time, like, I have my team on the map. Although we are making a play bot. I think we can just keep going mid. Yeah, looks like we can just keep going mid. So it looks like the enemy team is running bot, which means we can just shove here. To be honest, I think we can just play for an end, maybe. Like, we have a Baron and a Jinx, and no one seems to be here, so I guess we're just gonna pressure it. These nice big autos here. Okay. Now, the safe play is to back off. I think we could probably fight this, to be honest. I'd be kind of down. At the same time, it's like we have such a huge spike in base, right? Like, we have our death cap, and we're going to be insanely, insanely strong. So we'll probably just try and get a reset. Probably safer to do this. So we're going to reset, and I don't think there's any way for us to lose at this point. I'm so insanely strong. I'm about to have how much AP? Like a 20 stack Magi plus death cap. Yeah, so like 600 AP at 25 minutes, which is really good considering that this game started with Lux being 2-0, right? And also me not playing the laning phase as well as I should. Like I missed 3 E's. Generally, you should probably only miss 3 E's like per laning phase, and I missed them in like the first 3 minutes or some shit. So it was a pretty disastrous start. But because we had good fundamentals, you know, we did well after. And I quickly talk about that just because, like, sometimes when I review people's games, they're like, you know, how do I just avoid doing dumb stuff? Like, there's dumb little mistakes, right? Things like missing your E3 times, right? And the reality is that, like, even the best players will make little mistakes sometimes, right? I would say that, like, missing 3 Viktor E's is, like, somewhat a rarity for me. Like, I have to say that hasn't happened in a while, but it might be a different mistake, right? Like, maybe you flash and you miss your combo or something, right? These things do happen. So if you have really strong fundamentals, you can win in spite of them, right? Like, if the fights are consistently weighted towards you because you have a lot of gold, or, like, even if you mess up some trades, like, you're still consistently winning out because you know the right time to trade and stuff. It kind of, think of it as it, like, gives you bad luck protection, you know? If you play really well, even if you do get unlucky or you make some little mistakes here and there, it helps, like, just make it so the bar of execution isn't so high, and you can get forgiven on some of these things as well. So yeah, I mean, I think this game is completely over. I'm just gonna kill Lux maybe. I'll just ult these guys. Dude, imagine when it's reworked and my ult's even bigger. That's gonna go crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, I'd probably just kill this Lulu. Yeah, nice. So we're insanely strong. End up winning out. So what were the main takeaways from this game? Okay, I think somewhat, like, about knowing how to, like, or I guess, like, Viktor's identity, like, knowing that you need to make sure you're trading heavily in the laning phase, you don't want to get into too many fights, some of the stuff about, like, the wave control. I think also a little bit of itemization. I think going for Merc Treads is pretty important. Also quite important that you didn't go for a flat pen item this game. I think that's quite critical, because, you know, my team did have a lot of AP. Is there anything else really important? Honestly, not that I can remember. I guess just, like, don't feel too stressed if your opponent, like, starts off with a lead. If you have solid enough fundamentals, you can definitely come back. Obviously, like, it's easier, right? Like, if you're better than your opponent, but that's exactly what having good fundamentals is. It's like, even if your opponent starts, like, with a very, I would say, lucky lead that Lux got, you can still end up coming out on top. So damage was really good. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Any questions or anything, please leave them in the comment section below. See you guys in the next one.